Hello. I have I have this big box of books, this Banker's box of books, and I have a bucket of books. And I'm going to tell you what books I have. And maybe even tomorrow, Friday, while I can still drop something off at the post office, I could send you some hard copy books because then you get to dog ear the books. You can you can throw the books at somebody if they remind you of a character or something. So here's what we have. Oh, well, I don't know if you want this. My Life in the Bush of Ghosts. I've never read it. This is the book that inspired the Brian Eno, David Byrne album, My Life in the Bush of Ghosts. So it's kind of like a African boy and lion story or something like that. I really don't know. Here's one, the Philip K. Dick Reader. I don't know if this is one you might have read already, but it has the stories that inspired the movies, of course. And boy, it's got a zillion things. What do you think, Penny? Oh, now here's one that I learned about in that academic, the modern scholars of science fiction literature. So Ballard, Running Wild. I'm just going to set this aside because I'm kind of assuming you might like that. There's an old book about Laurie Anderson. Here's Paycheck, large print Paycheck. I think is maybe even a second story here. I'm not sure. No, it must just be a comfortable large print version. Although it looks like maybe it's really a zillion short stories. Wouldn't surprise me. I've got The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I've got, Poetry, True Harvest, Limericks, Too Gross, 24 Dirty Dozen Stanzas by Isaac Asimov. This this would this would go for a price on eBay. That's what they do now. Speaking of Isaac Asimov, the whole collection here of the Foundation. That's got your mouth watering. Oh, a Star Trek timestamp. I'm not going to assume that's. But now here's a Harlan Ellison. It's an old book. I started collecting these books thinking I was going to go into the Peace Corps and I was going to take these books with me, Earthman, go home. I actually started reading this and didn't keep it up. But I thought it was okay. Here is, because it has Jolene Blaylock, another Star Trek story. That's probably no good. Larry Niven, All of Myriad Ways. Ooh, something happened there. Looks like a pandemic picture in there or something. Now here's another one inspired by the modern scholars' science fiction literature. It's another J.G. Ballard, right? The other one was J.G. Ballard also, but this is the Vermilion Sands. And I know I read some of this while I was out in the West Desert camping and stuff, and I thought it was good. Here's one of your favorites. I remember you told me you thought that was one of his good ones. The Flow My Tears, the Policeman Said. Ooh, how very timely a story like that, huh? And Timeless Stories for Tomorrow and Today, Ray Bradbury. Take note of that. You may need pencil and paper or something, or you can call me while your memory is fresh of Clergyman's Daughter, George Orwell. Haven't read it, sorry. Went into the store looking for Animal Farm. That's all they had. Oh, what's this? The Challenge of the Spaceship by Arthur C. Clarke. How can you go wrong with a title like that? Well, that's the whole bucket. And that's going to be this video, but I'll make another video about the box.